Hey, Kyle here with Maple Systems. Welcome to another Maple Systems video training series. Hey there, in this video I'm going to cover how to use loop detection to protect your network using a Maple Systems Lite managed industrial network switch. And I'll also show you how to configure a loop detection in the Maple Link Lite user interface. First, you will need to understand what loop detection is and what it does for your network. In networking, a loop happens when a network packet keeps traveling in a circle between switches or ports instead of reaching its destination. So this usually occurs when devices are connected in a way that creates a circular path. The main problem with loops is that they cause broadcast storms, messages get endlessly repeated, slowing or crashing the network congestion, which is legitimate traffic can't get through, switch overload, devices may crash trying to process repeated packets, so loops often happen because of human error, like accidentally connecting two ports on the same switch with a cable. Loop detection helps prevent network problems caused by loops. Loops usually happen when a switch's ports are accidentally connected to each other, causing messages to circulate endlessly and slow down the network. Loop detection works by sending test packets. If a packet comes back to the same port, the switch will automatically shut down that port to stop the loop. Now, it's important to understand what a loop recovery is. When loop detection is on, the switch checks for loops by sending a test packet every 2 seconds. If the packet comes back to the same port, the switch knows there's a loop and temporarily shuts down that port. After a set time, which is usually from 1 minute to 60 minutes, the port is turned back on and loop detection continues. When loop detection shuts down a port, the switch records logs and sends alerts. On switches where spanning tree protocol, or STP, isn't used, loop detection also needs to catch other potential loop situations to keep the network safe. So what is spanning tree protocol, or STP? It's a network protocol used in Ethernet networks to prevent loops when multiple switches are connected together. Loops can cause broadcast storms, duplicate frames, and network failures, so STP ensures a loop-free topology. An example of the situation, if ports 1 and 2 form a loop and loop detection is enabled only on port 1, then port 1 will be disabled. However, if loop detection is enabled on both port 1 and port 2, both ports will be disabled. Now let's go into Maple Link Lite, and we want to see the configuration for loop detection. To find that, go over to the left side, configuration, then click port settings, and then click the loop detection tab. Okay, let's go over the loop detection settings. So here you have state. You can disable or enable this. You want to select this option to enable loop guard on the switch. Then MAC address, so you'll enter the destination MAC address that the probe packets will be sent to. If the port receives these same packets, the port will be shut down. So you enter the MAC address here, and then down here, port, you'll select the port which to configure loop guard protection. You can choose between 1 through 8 because there are 8 ports for the switch that I'm using, the MS1 L08G. And then here is where you'll disable and enable that state. There's a recovery state, or also called loop recovery. If you enable this, it'll reactivate the port automatically after the designated recovery time has passed. Recovery time, this is that time between 1 and 60 minutes. And if you hit apply, you'll see those changes made here. Then refresh, click refresh to reset the screen. So down in the loop detection status, you have your ports 1 through 8. Here's where you'll see the state is enabled or disabled. And if the port is blocked, you'll see that status change here. It will say blocked, it won't say normal. And then you can manually unblock it by clicking unblock, and it'll manually unblock that. You'll see the status change here back to normal. If you disable the recovery state, you'll see that here as disabled. And then here is where the recovery time will be displayed. For example, let's select ports 3 through 5, and then we'll enable state here, and we'll just disable recovery state. And let's change this to 10 minutes, hit apply. Then you can see port 3, 4, and 5 are enabled, and the recovery state is disabled, and then you see the recovery time here is at 10 minutes. Let's take a look at loop detection in a real-world scenario in industrial automation. So the setting: at a mid-sized manufacturing plant, the operations team is expanding a production line to accommodate a new robotic assembly station. In the process, the technician connects two Ethernet ports on separate control panels using a spare patch cable. Because loop detection was proactively enabled, the plant avoided a full production halt and potential damage to automated systems. What would happen if loop detection was not enabled? Well, the impact: within minutes, network traffic between PLCs and SCADA systems would begin to degrade. Machine status updates would freeze, alarms fail to display in the control room, and the operator touchscreen panels would become unresponsive. The broadcast storm, triggered by the loop, would be very overwhelming for the switch and jeopardize real-time communication that's critical to the automation process. Luckily, the Lite managed switches in the plant network have loop detection. This means if a switch sees its own probe packets coming back through a different port, it can automatically take action to prevent network loops. So the resolution: the control system alerts the IT or OT support team. A technician inspects the network cabinet and identifies the unintended patch connection. After removing the cable and verifying the setup, the port is manually reactivated. Communications between devices return to normal, and production resumes without lasting impact. So the outcome of having loop detection enabled: the plant avoided a full production halt and potential damage to automated systems. So this highlights the critical importance of proper network design, change control, and built-in safeguards in industrial environments. Well, that wraps up everything today. To get more information, please visit the How to Use Loop Detection to Protect Your Network tutorial page and visit the Industrial Network Switches page, and this can all be found on the Maple Systems website. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.